Good morning and welcome to this month's OakCrest Insight. You know, our goal here every month is to keep you posted on headlines in the media and our thoughts on these headlines. So, the last couple of years, you probably got tired of me, right? Hearing repetitively, focusing on interest rates and inflation as these were the major items. The markets now are kind of shifting away from that. That's calmed down, and now the focus is more on new administration economic policies. So today I want to talk about what could tariffs really mean for you as investors and consumers that we're hearing from economists and not just on your nightly news. So first item is to review what happened from previous trade wars in 2018, 2019. This isn't the first time. So following US tariff announcements then, the S&P 500 saw some daily declines with a cumulative or overall drop of about 5% in the markets. When China retaliated, this triggered similar decline of about 5.5%. When non-China countries retaliated to tariff announcements, for example, like countries in Europe, the markets really didn't see any movement. So keep this in mind as we talk. Even with the trade wars though, the S&P 500 was down a little over 6% in 2018, but in 2019 was up almost 29%. This is important to know as the trade wars have started. President Trump has imposed a 10% tariff on Chinese goods on top of existing tariffs on imports from China. Now, we saw a little reprieve for 30 days on import taxes from Mexico and Canada, which the markets liked. This is important as these three countries represent 55% of total trade with the US. 55%. The next 12%, or 12 countries, they don't even equal these three combined. So what should the US or you as US consumers expect if tariffs on all three of these countries are implemented? Well, simply put, it could mean higher prices in a few areas for you. Cars, right? As auto parts typically cross Canada, Mexico, and US multiple times before being assembled. The construction and housing industry, as US imports a significant amount of lumber from Canada. The energy sector, as Canada is a major supplier of crude oil. And lastly, well, beer, right? As Mexico is the most significant source of imported beer in the US. Now that said though, the situation is fluid, it's uncertain. We don't know what's going to happen, but our investment team is keeping a very close eye short term on this. But most importantly for you and investors is the bigger picture, right? We experienced this before. As I mentioned and saw earlier, it had minimal effect on the markets. And this time around though, the big picture is the economy is in great position to weather the tariffs. So we're going to keep you posted every month as there are headlines happening and as things happen with tariffs. So we look forward to seeing you next month on OakCrest Insight.